My name is Megan. I am 24 years old and I'm one of the aquarists here. So the typical working day for us, every day isn't the same. There's always things that may crop up. So every day we come in at 8:30. That's when we come in. And between 8:30 and 10 o'clock, we're making sure all the display tanks are ready to go for the public. We'll be getting our brushes inside the tanks, making sure there's no algae to make sure they're all nice and clean, and all the external areas. And then after 10 o'clock is when we can finally start our feeds. So we normally begin with our small feed where we're feeding the smaller fish, things like krill and mysis and brine shrimp, things like that. After that, we sort of move on towards our bigger feeds, where we normally have a tray. We call it our miscellaneous tray. When we target feeding some animals get a little bit extra of sort of chunk food. And then obviously every hour we're doing our talks where we feed our main sort of like keystone species. So at 11:30 we're doing our caiman talk and feed. 12:30 we're doing the omorus talk and feed, which is our loggerhead sea turtle. And so every hour from 11:30 we're stopping everything that we're doing to make sure that we can do these talks and feeds, and in between those times we're trying to make sure that everything's running okay, making sure any issues with our life support systems can be resolved, any sort of treatments are taken care of, and then finally towards the end of the day we can get onto sort of main tank cleaning, getting our siphons in the water, gravel siphoning to get rid of any excess food, any excess poo that the fish might have done, and any big water changes, backwashes, and making sure those are at least done by the end of the day. So one of the things that people don't expect when looking after an aquarium is that I actually had a customer come in and talk to me about this, because he said that obviously taking time to look at fish and appreciating life underwater, it's really, really good for your mental health. Now, it absolutely is, but looking after them is a completely different ballpark, because this one particular customer said, oh yeah, all you have to do is worry about the pH of the water, and after that you got to be one of the most chillest people to work here, when in reality it can be nice and blissful, but in a split second it can completely change. Life support systems can fail. We're dealing with those problems on the day-to-day basis, and it can be quite stressful. Things happen and you've just got to kind of crack on with it and deal with it, and it's not as easy as it thinks. We've got a lot of animals that we need to look after, and we can't exactly have favourites. We can't get too attached to them, as I should say. But one particular fish that I have taken quite fondly to is our purple lyre-tailed grouper that we've got here. Now, he is aptly named after my boss. We do we can sort of call him Angry Steve, because funny enough, he does have sort of the similar face as what he has. It's got very, very strong resemblance to him. But I talk about him all the time, to be fair, because previously he had to be in a tank by himself because he would always get quite aggressive to his other tank mates. But it came a time when we really needed to tank in order to house some other fish in it. So we decided to put him in our ocean tank where he'd either be one of the smallest fish in there, or the fish that are smaller than him have a much bigger attitude than him. And he has bonded really nicely with our leopard moray eel, which is really nice to see. So why do I think aquariums are really important? Now, from my own perspective, I grew up by the sea. Anytime the sun came out, you were finding myself and my family down at the beach, where generally you wouldn't be able to get me out of the rock balls. I'll be in there nose deep trying to find as many things as I can. Now, there are families out there which probably live in landlocked places where they can't quite get the accessibility to go to the beach. So I find that aquariums just create a really nice stepping stone into that sort of window into life underneath the water. It's also a really good way of providing a sensory environment for younger children. There's been studies that come out that say that it's really beneficial. It's also really beneficial for your mental health as well. I don't know about looking after them, but it can be very stressful at times, but we love what we do, and I find that aquariums provide the perfect environment for raising awareness around conservation efforts and educating people, and also creating little mini marine biologists, essentially, for what I wanted to be as a kid.